came live, talked for like 5 minutes, and people were like, "Hey, are you there?" And I had to redo the whole spiel, like explaining the game night, how to sign
Oh
up, like
shit.
the whole damn script that I had in my head, and then it was like, "Oh yeah, now I gotta do this over again." So it sucks, but it does happen. I wish people would chime in sooner, but sometimes you miss it. Like Choina said that 5 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago. So
It
we're on
just
it.
went out. Okay, let me try this.
Well,
Test
Choina's
test.
typing, so let's see what they say first.
Yeah, I just switched it up. I don't know. I guess it just cut out here from OBS. It's an OBS problem, I think. I don't know. It might be.
No, audio on Twitch now. Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
an OBS problem.
yeah, I've been kind of engagement farming because every time I get up, I was talking about these Twitter spaces getting on stage. I've been trying to cut out like a little clip of me saying something impactful or something funny and then putting that back up. And when I've been doing it, because I've been like out more or less in the house, I've been doing it with OBS, not OBS. I tried doing it with OBS, but I don't have Black Hole on this computer. So I downloaded a Chrome extension that does audio recording,
For
and I use
spaces,
QuickTime to
right?
do a video recording at the same time.
Is that for spaces?
Yeah, I'll just record,
Yeah.
go back to the space, look for where I said something cool, cut out a little minute, 2 minute clip, include the host or some other big guest so I can just tag them, and then they usually like and retweet it. So it's like it's pretty effective.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's just like OBS, man. Fuck.
OBS can be a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah. So two proposals up. Implications are very apparent in what these proposals are for and what will happen. So just go out and vote. I haven't voted on a proposal in a while.
Yeah, I feel like some people have taken some time off, which is not a bad thing. I encourage it. I should be
Yeah.
taking my own advice.
Well, the market gives us that advice, right? Uh, Go away in May, right? Take a break. Go touch some grass.
Yeah, exactly. It feels about that time.
Ooh, Goobs is saying no sound on Twitter.
No sound on Twitter. What is going on tonight?
Let me check
Still,
if I get sound on Twitter. I'll just reshare. I
looks
got.
like yeah, it looks like I'm getting sound on my end here.
Let me see.
No sound on Twitter.
No, I'm getting sound on Twitter.
Okay, Goops, I think it's your phone or your device or something on your end, maybe.
Well, it probably fixed once you fix the setting in OBS. It's now Restream is sending out the good sound. So it probably was just I had to catch up.
Yeah, there's so many things to like. I could really use like when pilots take off like a checklist. I need something like that.
Yeah, I used to do this where basically what I would do is like when I go live, I my setup allows me to have audio meters. But there have been times I forget that the audio meter isn't on because I have to turn it on and off through software. That's usually one check. The other one is that my machine tells me if I'm on air or not. It'll blink if it's off air. And then lastly, I would always check on during the stream to go to like YouTube and like just check, hey, is the sound there? I haven't really done that as much because we haven't been streaming as much. Like when we haven't had any recent Avagachi live streams where they've interviewed, people. I know we're doing Slama soon, but yeah, it's just I haven't been streaming nearly as much, but still, making content sort of.
Yeah, like you say though, May gotta take your breaks. I got
Yeah,
almost like a month of camping booked between now and September, so gonna be gone.
yeah.
Just leave the city, leave everything.
I might go camping at some point. I do have today's the 26th, so on the 31st, I think that's Wednesday. I have a kayaking trip planned. We still haven't signed up and paid the rental, but we're going with my girlfriend's coworkers who all kayak and drink together. They all work in the same restaurant, so I'm gonna get a day of sun. It should be good.
What is this like a kayak expedition?
Yeah, it's like they do it like an all day trip. They're gonna go to like a chill I guess river or something, and we're gonna just float down and get drunk and eat sandwiches. One of the bartenders, she's like the mom for everybody, so she's like, I'm gonna have everything ready. This is the type of water where it's not gonna be dangerous. Your kayaks will be fine. So it's like, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, it's like more
They're
of
all
like a
really
chill day. You're hanging out, you're having
yeah,
sandwiches. Yeah, that's a vibe.
Yeah, they're all like they all drink, you know, they're bartenders, so it's like we're gonna have a good time. I just gotta not like, you know, you're out in the sun all day, but I've been getting ready for that because I've, you know, we talk about touching grass. I've made it so that touching grass is like a part-time job every day now. Like every day, I've been trying to go to the gym, and then go and get some food, and then go play basketball for an hour or two, get some sun, and just feel, and
Yeah.
I feel great. It's like such a good vibe. So you just gotta constantly keep that time for yourself where you just tune out of everything and just kind of, you know, go with the flow. I've been on Twitter so much though now. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely Twitter addicted.
Yeah, I actually don't even have Twitter on my phone anymore because I'm like, I'm not even doing Twitter on my phone for the summer. I'm gonna schedule everything, you know, try and block time off. Like really, that's gonna have the highest return for my mental health. To be honest, is like just go app free on your phone for a long ass time. Maybe not a long time, maybe even a short time. Could be a week. Uh, but yeah, that mental detox, man, it does a lot, especially for creativity too. If you're ever having like a block, like the best thing to do when you're having a block is like to remove all those things that are like taking up like extra mental energy that you might not realize, but it's like just scrolling through tweets and stuff, you know. Um,
Yeah, no, 100%. I think my approach to it, I feel like I'm getting more into it, is because I've like my following, not who follows me, but who I follow on Twitter has been so crypto NFT centric. Like I think I still follow like over 4,000 people, and they're all like highly informative, like people who are like us, you know.
yeah,
So Twitter, like I was explaining to my girlfriend, is a news source for me. And I have a background and experience working in news, but it was like for criminal law and like making packages and talking about new stuff. This is beautiful because crypto Twitter, literally, there's something new every day. So for me, my little newsy mind, it allows me to make content easily without really having to think. It's just literally like what happened today
yeah,
and like kind of do something. Or even better, I like these Twitter spaces are like the news conferences of our space. We have like the biggest people come out, people from these projects
yeah.
come on and talk, and like I can then be a part of that conversation. So it's like that is so enthralling to me because it allows me to like it doesn't feel like I'm sucked in and trapped. It feels like it's fun and like kind of ooh, I like doing this. Like
Twitter Spaces have been refreshing for sure. Like, as opposed to like scrolling through tweets and stuff, find those targets. Like, find those communities, like you say, that you want to be a part of. For me, like I love the Pepe Spaces because I've been a Pepe like before. Like I can't even be fake about it. I like Pepe before Pepe Coin and all this shit came out. I was collecting Pepes.
I
So
was the
I
opposite. I was the
yeah,
opposite. I was a known Pepe hater. We and you had a conversation of like, I can't fuck with Pepe. It's associated with
yeah.
a hate symbol. And I'm like, I know it's not a hate symbol, but it's associated. But then I got a bag and my bag went up and I was like, all right,
That'll make a lot of
yeah.
people fall in love, man. I mean, Pepe
Yeah, and
is
I'm
love. That's what that money's energy. Pepe's
yeah.
love. Pepe's money. Same thing.
But it's also like I'm almost 40. This is not the first time I've been wrong, you know? So it's like I'm okay with being wrong. It's
True.
okay. As long as you can acknowledge it and learn from it, that's all that matters.
I don't even think you can learn from it most of the time. Sometimes shit happens, man. Like you just miss things, especially in crypto. Like we've all missed at least 10, 20, 30 things. It's happened. Everybody has. Like I saw Bored Ape Yacht Club. I convinced a buddy that Bored Ape Yacht Club's not going to go beyond 5 or 6 ETH, right? Fast forward like 3 months and the dude's like, "What the fuck, man? I should have bought this thing, right?" Uh but yeah, it's that's just the way things go in this space. And I think even if you join crypto today, you would be in such an optimal position to actually make it. I think you'd be better. Like somebody joining crypto today would be better off than when I joined crypto, 100%. Because I came in, I was kind of like late to the last cycle. So I kind of just came in, it kind of topped off, and then there was a big dump, and then I kind of got scared a little bit, and I dumped a bunch of things. And then, down near the bottom, well, not even near the bottom, since the last 6 months or so, I've been kind of just finding things I really liked and kind of stockpiling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've gone the opposite way. Like I said, if you're in crypto Twitter, like that news part of it, it moves like every day. So like a good example is this weekend, right? I got into a space like a week ago with Frank the God. I made a joke about I didn't make a joke actually. It was like this was when the hoodies were the whole hoodie gate. The hoodies weren't that good and he was like defending it. The night before after me and you did Block Party, I went to my girlfriend's job and I ran into a guy wearing a D Gods hoodie. And I was like, oh shit, are you a D Gods holder? No, he's a Utes holder. And then we started talking about Avagachi and all this stuff. This is a person I just met in real life. And the sweater looked dope. So I complimented him. I was like, yo, this looks great, man. So he had followed me before because I had done I was on a space where I got 45 seconds to pitch Avagachi to Frank the God and he was gonna roast the pitch. So I was like on Sunday, I think it was. I sold like one of my alphas. I got 400 Matic. And then I saw on Twitter he posted like within 5 seconds of him posting, and I saw that he bought my alpha, but then also bought some brozos. So knowing that he bought a brozo, I knew there was going to be a wave of people that came in and buy them. So I immediately at like 45 Matic bought 6 or 7 of them, and then I waited a day or two and I sold them all at 70. This happened for a few different things where it's like I just caught like what apparently like the beginning of hype or like a trend and jumped in. So ordinals right now for me, it's like I feel so incredibly excited because this feels like Polygon NFTs right now feels kind of the same thing where we're in so early, like people barely understand this. Like there's only 30,000 wallets maybe in the world max
Yeah.
that hold anything BRC20 or you know ordinals. So it's like, holy shit, that's like, I remember the 10x from JPEG Summer where it went from 20,000 OpenSea users to 200,000 and how, that 10x my money 10x. So it's like, I'm getting very bullish. And so I've been aggressively buying stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, let's jump ahead and talk about ordinals because that is a really interesting. Well, we'll talk about this after, but here, let's pull this up. Do you by any chance own uh Bitcoin space Pepes?
A Bitcoin space
A
Pepe. No.
Bitcoin space Pepe. So I guess these are yeah, these are the latest ordinal that people are getting hyped up about. Bitcoin space Pepe, nearly 7.4 million worth of trades when this
Oof.
article was published. And so it even topped it topped the trading volume of the Bored Ape Yacht Club by 2 million. So
Yeah,
this
that's
project's
crazy.
been moving. And so basically what this ordinal blockchain is you're taking a single satoshi, a single unit of Bitcoin, and you're inscribing it with you can do an image or you can do pretty much anything and inscribe it and attach it to this coin so that now it almost becomes like a colored coin. It's still Bitcoin, but it's kind of like wrapped in this sort of NFT layer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm showing on my page, if you're looking at my screen,
Yeah.
this is Unisat. So I just found out about this and like you can do inscriptions from here. It's like pretty simple it seems.
Okay, see, so that's something I want to try and actually do that. Now, there's another Bitcoin thing that just came out called Bitcoin Stamps, if you ever heard of it. So Bitcoin Stamps is a bit different, I believe, than ordinals. Because one of the things that's been happening with the ordinals is it's been spiking, just like we saw with Ethereum, because the block size is limited. When there becomes a large volume of these NFTs coming through, it spikes the price of gas. Now, while a lot of people are like, man, this price of gas is like $10 now to use the Bitcoin blockchain. Some people say the maxis are angry that it's not what is used, what it's meant to be used for. But then you have all the degens saying it's gonna encourage innovation. So I don't know. What do you think? I think it's still gonna push innovation because usually when things like this happen, someone finds a way to make it work. If they don't, I could see this becoming like its own fork. Like that's the risk. Like we've seen that happen with Bitcoin before, where the community, the developer community, kind of outright rejects this new update, and it kind of becomes its own thing. Kind of like BSV or Bitcoin Cash or those sorts of things.
Yeah, I'd say if you're looking at my screen, like it kind of shocks me, and I love the idea of these ordinals, right?
Yeah.
Look at we're gonna look at a group of sub 100,000 inscription numbers, sub 100,000. So this one is 73,938. It has a punk on it, right? Crypto punk, another crypto punk. I don't know if this means you own that. It doesn't mean any of that. It's just literally this image has been uploaded to this or like inscription number.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Like I was explaining this to my girlfriend. It's like imagine you have coins, like quarters, because the Satoshi is just a very fractionalized version of a Bitcoin, right? 1/100th of a million or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine now you have coins that come with just cool collectible images. Some of them look cool. You know, it's still only worth this, but it could be worth more. So I was in a Twitter space today, and they were talking about negative inscriptions or cursed inscriptions, like inscriptions that have negative numbers due to some fuck up in the indexing of the ordinal, essentially of the inscription. So people are speculating right now that those will have a lot of value. So there's like it was like initially only negative 4,000 of them, but it quickly jumped to 60,000 because people were like kind of like debating, is this going to be valuable because it's cursed? They're cursed inscriptions. But they were also explaining that like you have to put them in a wallet that what's it called, that is on, you know, just has those things in it, because it's going to be incredibly hard to find with the current tooling which inscriptions are the cursed ones if you mix it with other sats.
Interesting. So I mean, you could have a bag of these coins, and they just could be like collectible, kind of like, you know, when you were a kid and you saw like the vending machine with those little toys and things you get to put together. Uh, like you'd see them like around. You know what I mean? If you go to an arcade or whatnot, you'll see these little machines. And a lot of those items aren't really worth anything. Well, except in this case, it's worth a small amount of Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's what makes it amazing though, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's a collectible, but it's also at the very like it can never go to zero. Bitcoin would have to go to zero.
So you're talking about more like the intrinsic value of it is kind of like there's a floor price to every one of these. It's the floor price, the
Is one sat.
the lowest,
Yeah.
yeah, the lowest possible floor price is its intrinsic value, which is the Satoshi that's inside.
Yeah. Think
Hmm.
about it like this: you
Yeah,
can never really be rugged unless Satoshi comes back. You can never be rugged.
that would be like the second last rug. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, that would never happen. You're right. Unless like implying that would happen is also implying that Bitcoin would no longer exist, which is you're taking a big bet there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's exciting because it's so new. Like I bought one today. I'm using Magic Eden Bitcoin just because I'm used to Magic Eden. But there is a there's another one I was looking at, but I don't know what it is. I've minted some BRC 720s. I'll show you those in Unistat. But I got this one today. What I did was I think I turned it off, but to the right of me, I have my mining computer. It was an old Bitcoin miner. So what I wanted to do is fund this wallet with funds that had no trace, essentially, other than like you know the fact that it's from a mining computer. It's not. This wallet has no connections to KYC wallets, so I
Right.
can dick around in this and like you know feel if I make $1 billion, then I'll deal with it later. You know.
Yeah.
So mining computers, this is the most decentralized degen crypto shit I've ever done. It's like, okay, I've been mining for months. I'm taking my like 1 or 2% of a Bitcoin. I'm gonna send it from this mining computer, which has no associations to me, to you know a wallet that it's a Chrome extension wallet, which is kind of cool. I'll show it to you here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, Unisat. So it's just like a basic ass wallet. Let me just see if I.
Like a MetaMask.
Yeah, it shows my BTC like it'll show the what I have in there. If you go to the BRC 20s, you can see them. What I've been doing is I've been adding more Bitcoin because what you can do is at unisat.io, they have the BRC 20 listings. So yesterday there was a huge one and I missed it by 1 minute. OXBT. It minted out yesterday, right? Here, this is one of the largest holdings. I believe this is the largest BRC 20 token holder count, 24,000, which is what is ridiculous. It's
It's
so
almost the
so
whole
low.
network.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
24,000. This one was free, but now they're selling, I believe it's selling for like $300 for the initial 5,000 that you got. Yeah, so this is 376, 377, 379. So if you minted this, it was a free mint. it's now worth almost $400, like literally printing money out of thin air. So what I've been doing is the in progress mints. I check by holders, see which ones have the most holders, and I've been minting for free or basically the cost of gas, a bunch of these tokens and just hoping that something moons, you know?
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, it's really interesting seeing people actually creating projects and getting like wide adoption there, like network wide adoption. So it tells me that things are happening over there. And I heard about ordinals about 3 months ago, and at the time, like there was a lot of pushback from the core devs, and they made a change, a specific change to the Bitcoin code. Well, actually, I might have to actually verify that, but there was some like major pushback against ordinals, and they had to make some major changes. I don't know if it was the dev team or if it was the ordinal dev team, but they had to make some major changes because it was really crushing the hash rate and the gas fees on the Bitcoin blockchain.
Yeah, I'm here for it, man.
But
I'm
that's
just in another
interesting.
team.
You're basically mining anonymous coins, and then are you going to be using some of that to publish your own art, or?
Nope. I have no interest in art publishing. I thought about doing some Avagachi inscriptions, like because through Unisat, which I was coming, I just need to get more Bitcoin in here. You can inscribe .sat names, so you would just
Hmm,
write in like I was trying to do Avagachi .sat.
someone has it?
This one already exists. Somebody already claimed it's like ENS essentially.
Oh, okay. This
Yeah,
could
so
be
you can inscribe like
interesting.
that. Yeah. And then I haven't done any other inscriptions. Like apparently I can inscribe some of the sats with like images and stuff like that, but then they're gonna end up being like these ones, which are just the just random inscriptions, no real rhyme or reason to them. Yeah,
Yeah,
but even for these, I've been looking for websites that do free minting, like because a lot of these NFT projects are free mints, and it's like holy shit, like we are looking. This is the same thing we saw in 2017 with CryptoPunks, and it's like, oh, we have history on our side. We know that if you're part of that select 25,000 people who are paying attention, you could make some crazy money, like without
that's the
paying any.
that's the model. Like we've seen it with all the projects that ended up blowing up, right? I think can't remember if Bored Apes were, they were cheap mint though.
It was
CryptoPunks were free.
$250. Yeah,
Yeah.
250. But if you look at Polygon, because I've been collecting a lot of Polygon NFTs, a good example of a free mint that's blown the fuck up is Drill Club. Where is it? Drill Club. Drill Club at some point this week. Drill Club was a free mint. I owned like four of these and I sold them on the pump and I sold way too early. They pumped to like 250 Matic or something like that, but from zero. I bought them in around 20. I sold them at 40, 40, and then another one at like I think 140, and they just kept pumping. But this was a zero fee mint. If you go and like, I've been going nuts on my OpenSea flipping NFTs from Polygon, but like these ones, this one's minting right now. It's 1/10 of a Matic. So I was just minting them. Actually, I have the mint site still open, just minting them one by one, grabbing them because they're basically free. It's only 10 cents. Let me just do this transaction real
Bored
quick.
minion.
Yeah, Board Minion Yacht Club. It's like this is not gonna like I'm not I don't care about the art. Like I just want to get 50 of them. But if you look at my wallet, it's become ridiculous. Like I have 2100 NFTs, but
Holy
I've also
shit.
so that the collections I'm buying, like I'm sweeping like 30 of them at a time. Or like there was one that was a mint. It was point 0.3 Matic for each one. Only 2,000 in the collection. I minted 100 of them. I was gonna mint 200, but I didn't want to like take on 10% because that seems kind of crazy. But some of these projects over the last week, especially after Frank DeGod tweeted about like, hey, he's buying a whole bunch of Polygon stuff, shot up. Like I had ones that I bought for one Matic, and later that day I sold for 10 Matic, but I had 20 or 30 of them. So
Hmm.
same kind of vibe, just early people were getting in. So like I have way too many NFTs now.
So I mean, like, what happens? Because a lot of these NFTs, like, are you just gonna hang on to them and see which ones get near the top, or do you ever clean them out and just like dump a bunch of them? Like, that's a lot of
Well, what I've been
NFTs.
doing is yeah, what I've been doing is right now there's a lot of because I was able to make good money. I basically buy a little of everything, like this Weebs. weeb head. I have like maybe 50 of them. I bought a whole bunch of them at like point 0.2 Matic. It dropped to point 0.1, so I bought a whole bunch more and averaged down. Like
Hmm.
literally every one of these. I don't have this one. I have Bean Pixels. I don't have the Boss Ape Cosmic Club. I don't really like getting to derivatives because they will get delisted. This
Yeah.
one, Key Bits, I ended up buying 30 of them at like 1 Matic, sold like 27 of them when they pumped to like close to 10 Matic. Then they dipped down to 3 Matic. I bought another 10. I sold them at 8. Dipped back down. I've been buying and trading. But what I've also been doing, like if we look at the Suki bits, what I've been doing, or D nuts, this is another good one. D nuts. This one I bought for, I believe, point 0.4 Matic. Some of these I bought for point 0.4 Matic, and then I flipped them. Yeah, this one, point 0.4 Matic. The floor is 7.4 Matic. It went higher. It went as high as 10 Matic. But what I did was very early on when I bought all of the basic floor ones, I went in and bought 2 grails. Like this is the number 45th
I was gonna
ranked.
say, why is that one 500 Matic? Holy shit.
Yeah, I think I paid 15 Matic for this one, but this was when they were selling, the floor was like point 0.4 Matic. This one I paid, I think, 5 Matic, and this is the number 50 ranked. So I have this up for 200 Matic. So what I like to do is as soon as I buy them, I kind of think of where I want to sell them at. Like sell some for double, sell some for triple, sell some for 10x, like list them for a month and then keep listing them up. And if it ever pumps, they'll just take care of the sales themselves. I always keep a couple just in case, like, because I've made the mistake of selling entire collections. But yeah, it's worked. I mean, the last few days I've been lazy. I've just bought like 100 of an NFT and just was like, oh, I'll deal with it if it ever pumps. So I gotta go back to listing. But for the most part, most of them are in like the green. Like I could, if I sold the entire collection of what I have now, I'm probably 3 or 4x what I started with, and that's not including like I took a whole bunch of profits out of NFT tradings and invested into some Polygon shit coins, like one specifically that had like a $30,000 market cap. I saw on Twitter. That shit jumped to 100,000. I bought $20 of it for Lady Friend on her MetaMask that I set up and funded, and then I bought like a couple $100, tripled it, sold it off, held it, and then it dipped, and I've been buying it and flipping. There's probably like 300 or 400 Matic in there
Nice.
still that I haven't like pulled out.
So for those traders out there, you would say Polygon's a good place right now to actually head over with a little bit of capital and you know, try flipping some stuff.
Yeah, it's the thing is like it's not glamorous. Like I some of the flips I'm making, I put in point 0.3 Matic and I sell for
Hmm.
point 0.6 Matic. That's a
Yeah.
win. Like the fee is like next to nothing. But if I do it with a collection and I have 40 of them, then we're making a little money. The bigger plays though have been the ones like D Nuts, which I think was a free mint, and that like went from 40% of a Matic to 10 Matic, and I was able to offload like 27 of the 30 that I had.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just like with trading, you want to go where there's volatility, where there's volume.
Yeah,
So my thing
absolutely.
is every day I'm just looking at the OpenSea stats and looking at the number of sales in the last 1 hour period, but paying attention to it all day, so I can tell which ones are moving, which ones are not. Then if I see a collection I like that's moving, I'll check and see what the activity is. Is it trending up? Is it trending down? Like, and then start playing around. If there's Polygon though, it's just like you just get waves. Like there's literally like these Reddit NFTs. This one is probably in the last 24 hours sold thousands of them.
Oh
Yeah,
man, yeah, look at
4,000.
that. Collectible avatars.
Yeah.
What was that one you had back there? Pepe Editions by Matt Fury. That looked interesting. That's
Uh,
not what we bought last week, right? That's something else.
I think you're talking about.
I just saw it up there. I guess it changed. The board
It's
moves
right here.
around.
You're
There
talking
you
about this
go.
one. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
two
what's
of
that
these.
all about?
This one's it's a burnable one. So I have two of these. I paid way more and then they dropped in price. So I think you can burn a number of these to get a better one of these, but they
Oh.
pumped a few weeks ago and then they kind of fell back down.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused by all the Matt Fury drops, to be honest. I collected some Zogs because they look cool. Then I see these ones that are getting minted out. I have to join his Discord and figure all this out because there's definitely some sort of like mechanic that I'm totally not aware of.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That Peg Zog's Pepe is pretty dope.
This one. This one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. I
3.2
like the
ETH.
coloring on that. Fine art collections.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, ordinals in our NFT discussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll have to have a look. You got my interest here. I'm gonna look into ordinals, and I want to learn
Yeah.
a little bit more about Bitcoin stamps too, because I've been seeing people publishing these Bitcoin stamps. So I'm sure ordinals are like more NFT orientated. Like there's a whole marketplace and everything. But I'll have more information next week, hopefully. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Make or Die. Did we talk about Make or Die yet?
Nope.
So as we know, uh, with Avagachi DAO, most of our treasury is denominated in Make or Die, right?
A lot of die. Also, a lot of ghost.
Yeah. So this right here, what we're talking about here is the issuer of DAI stablecoin, MakerDAO, is trying to take strides in reducing its reliance on USDC. Uh, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's decentralized. So one of the things, do you remember this conversation that we had a couple months ago in the DAO?
About the backing of die, or
Yeah.
just ditching die altogether.
Yeah, like both of them. Like so the backing of it and then ditching it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those conversations.
So yeah, like so friends who are part of that conversation, we all kind of realized uh, that that DAI is probably no longer going to be backed fully by crypto because they're going towards real world assets, which can mean all kinds of things. Right here, they're talking about one over 1 billion in U.S. dollar Treasury bills and bonds from a from another, looks like another like hedge fund or agency that was part of this. So like they're relying on traditional financial entities to back the DAI stablecoin, which is kind of ironic because it was meant to be like that decentralized, real world asset backed crypto, right? So it's kind of going right back around to the centralized finance world, um, currently stating that 55% of MakerDAI's assets are still backed from centralized assets. So
Yeah. Well, let me ask. Do you think you would feel more comfortable because they said they're backed by crypto, right? Treasury bill is clearly not crypto, but if a CBDC is launched, would it be acceptable for that to be in their pool of assets?
hmm. Well, I mean, wouldn't that make DAI just a wrapped CBDC then?
I mean, if sort of, but
Yeah.
it depends on the weight in the asset pool.
Hmm. I think if it was less than 50%, it could be possible. Like I think you could do even like 49% CBDC and then have the rest all backed by different cryptos. Maybe you have a little USDC, you have a little Paxos, gold currency. You have a little bit of, you know, um, just a basket of maybe more stable long term currencies.
Yeah, I mean, 49%. I was thinking like, oh, I'd be cool with like 20%, 15%. 49% seems like risky, but I guess if it's like it's on chain, so we can all watch it. If it's CBDCs, if it's a mix of trusted stable coins, and then some other, I mean, I would say gold. You mentioned Paxos, but like physical gold. But the problem with that is like I remember reading an article not too long ago that like J.P. Morgan had on their books like a warehouse full of gold, and it never existed. And it's like, yeah, you can do shit like that, can't you? It could be tungsten in the middle of the
Yeah.
gold bar. It's not real, and it's
Yeah.
worthless. That's when
Mm-hmm.
we get tricky. Um, I don't know. Like, what's an asset that never goes down in value?
It never goes down in value.
Yeah,
Dun,
not just
dun, dun,
stable.
dun, 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 dun. If you wanna, it's cocaine. I'm just joking. Happy Friday. Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
MakerDAO is now. I mean, yeah. You can't snort cocaine with a CBDC though, so you're gonna have to figure that one out.
Yeah. I mean the things that never go down. Hmm.
Yeah. legal assets that never
Legal
lose value.
assets.
Something
Uh,
that if they had it on their books, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is like 99% safe.
well, technically they wouldn't be safe, but if you held like nuclear warheads, those would probably not go down in value.
Okay, so the other thing has to be that there is liquidity.
I'm sure there's liquidity for nuclear warheads today.
Yeah, but that's what, 5 people in the world, like
I know it would really mix things up for make or die. They would have a real situation on their hands if they were
yeah,
to do that.
like something like
Beanie
lithium,
Babies.
Beanie Babies,
They could just
Beanie
go
Babies.
like all out into DGen 90s stuff. They could buy some Beanie Babies, Pogs, buy some Game Boys, stockpile some PlayStations, and just have a stable basket of 90s DGen assets to,
Uh-huh.
collectible items, rare Pokemon cards.
You
These
have
are
to go
real
back a
world
little.
assets.
Yeah, you got to get some Garbage Pail Kid cards from like the '80s so that the boomers are also feeling safe.
That's the blue chip stuff right there.
Yeah. Man, I hate that word, blue chip. Like it's so dumb.
We've
Everything
worn it
blue chip
out.
is so dumb. Huh?
We've worn it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like Warren Buffett's reference to like Coca-Cola and like all the post World War II darling companies. And now it's like anything could be a blue chip. My DGen NFT project is a blue chip. My shitcoin is a
Yeah.
blue chip.
Trying to that fucking GIF is ridiculous. It's in the Discord. If you take a look. Now it's like, is that a like robot duck or is that duck just coked out?
I feel like it's one of those wind up things, wind up deals.
Oh, Goobs, I see your question now. Yeah, I haven't used Do. I've actually been talking with their partnership person. I think her name is Morph. Because I'm, me trying to get in everywhere with Orium. So me and her are on Telegram talking. I thought you needed an invite code to use Do, which I was trying to get from her, but I kind of fell off in the conversation, so I haven't used it yet. They also had some kind of exploit, didn't they? They had like recently, if I remember on Twitter, I saw their Discord was hacked or something. Oh hell yeah, send me it. Yeah, it was a Discord thing. It was like it wasn't a big deal. Fucking exploits. You guys, did you hear about what happened with hacked Steve Aoki and Ben Eath last night?
No, what was that all about? Fill us in.
Okay, so during the Twitter space that I eventually joined later in the night, the Borovic one, after I finished my game night, apparently during the game night, Steve Aoki, the account for Steve Aoki put a very bullish reply to one of ETH Ben's like posts, and he's like he's bullish on PSYOP or something like that. He's part of it, so everybody got super hyped. ETH Ben retweeted it, and what ended up happening was the Steve Aoki's site was compromised. Like that, what's it called? The Twitter account had been hacked. So the pinned tweet at the top of this account was like a giveaway or something. So people went and it was PSYOP owners, and they lost something like 37 ETH, or somebody said 170,000, but I don't know which number was correct. From a phishing exploit. So it became this big deal, like in the space, because they were like, "Shit!" Like it was Steve Aoki's account. We didn't know, like we didn't endorse it, but it just like so. ETH Ben actually came out today and said he's going to refund the people who got taken from that exploit.
Dang, dude. The psyop is real.
Yeah, a little drama.
Like, do you think this hacker was involved in any way? Or the exploiter?
I said this like earlier in the week on a Twitter space. They changed the logo for Ben because of a copyright issue with Uniswap. Uniswap delisted it and cited it was the logo. I think that it was the Ben team itself or the PSYOP team that reported Uniswap that it was a logo thing because it drove all this attention. I mean, both coins dipped like 20%. They've dipped a lot more since, but yeah, I wouldn't. It's a PSYOP. Anything goes.
Anything goes when your token's name is psyop. I'm waiting
Yeah.
for a rug pull token. Who's gonna do it? Who's doing rug? I want to buy some
It's
rug.
probably an ordinal. Probably a BRC 20 already. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Trading aggregator for the marketplace. Yeah, I'm down to use it. If I can use do and engage, mine anything, fuck it, let's do it.
I think that's the whole idea of it, right? It's just one
Yeah.
place. You're not jumping around from marketplace to marketplace. It's just showing you the most popular shit to focus on.
Well, see, honestly, I mostly use OpenSea. It works fine. Like I know Magic Eden and probably do will have a lot of other stuff, but OpenSea, there's enough traffic on OpenSea. I remember when I was trading Solana NFTs, and I would trade them on OpenSea, and I would get wrecked because the OpenSea floor was always so much higher than the actual floor of the projects in if you went to Magic Eden. So now, now it's kind of on par. Like if I go over to Magic
Hmm.
Eden Polygon, the floor prices are similar. Same thing with One Planet as OpenSea. So I've been sticking to that, but I'm open to things. It's just I'm happy that we finally have volume because we've I've always wanted to flip and trade NFTs on Polygon. The same reason we like doing DeFi on Polygon. It's cheap. I don't have to wait for like a 50% gain to sell something that costs $10. Like I can
Hmm.
literally it goes from 50 cents to 80 cents. I could sell it. It's a 4 cent hit on the fee. I've made some money.
Hmm.
Fuck it. Hustler's dream.
That's interesting that you just said that. That made me realize that likely um, that trading on Polygon will likely get more liquidity over time. Like those projects will probably have more liquidity just because there is more buying and selling that's going to happen. It's a lot cheaper. And that's what we've seen on DeFi protocols on Polygon is that there is a lot more liquidity here now after it's been established for a while.
But you know why? It's funny and it kind of harkens back to what I said earlier. It's hype. Frank DeGod gets on and he says in some tweets, "Hey, I just bought this. I'm buying a whole bunch of Polygon stuff," and then all the floors start to
Yeah.
rise. I immediately ran and bought some stuff uh, that we didn't have before on Polygon. There is
Yeah.
like Abenacci's the most hyped thing on Polygon, but we're like the nerdy older brother that's just actually sitting down and building a time machine while everybody else is like kind of dicking around. Now we got kind of
Yeah.
the party element there, so it still works. But that's the whole thing. Hype and marketing are uber important and will drive, uh, what's it called? Volume.
Yeah.
This feels like I was telling my girlfriend the reason I get excited because it reminds me of when like ETH was at like $400 and it was accessible to have a whole bunch of ETH. And I'm very long Matic, and this is not financial advice, but this is just my personal opinion. I'm
Yeah.
very long Matic, and I feel like we're watching Matic do what ETH did in the very beginning. And I could see Matic prices much higher than this because the network is being utilized in big ways. Plus, we're gonna have super nets and zk EVM, all these like other things. So I want to like each NFT is like a store of value and to some degree, assuming they don't go to zero, where I can multiply the amount of Matic. So I feel like a billionaire because I got 700 Matic in my wallet and the most expensive shit I can buy. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like it gives me that very early JPEG summer vibes, and I'm hoping that we get the wonderful like double hit of like the JPEGs accruing in price like we saw last week while Matic is pumping because Matic is
Yeah.
also down. So it's like it's a way for me to multiply my Matic and just stay very Matic central, and I feel very bullish on it.
Yeah, I feel you on Matic. I think Matic is going to be with everything they're building, could be even a top five token this coming bull run. It could be up there. Another one that I kind of think could be, I don't think it's going to make it anywhere near what Matic is doing, but it's interesting and worth keeping an eye on is Tezos. So Tezos is like an art blockchain. If you're interested in collecting art, up until recently, it was mostly generative art. Generative art could go either way. There's some really legendary generative artists that have put their work out on Tezos. But lately, we've even had like artists coming from Super Rare and Ethereum coming to Tezos and publishing work for like 1 or 2 Tez, which is like a couple dollars. And these works of art normally would be going for like 1 ETH, 1.5 ETH, sometimes even more than that. And you're able to collect their little doodles that they draw and just throw on Tezos. It's really unique, and I think it's worth keeping an eye on that if you're into art or collecting art.
Let me ask you, for Tezos, what kind of wallet do you need?
Let's see. I think I have it here.
Also, I will say, uh, I feel like I'm a little bit of an NFT OG, but I talked about this on a Twitter space too. Like when I set up my Ordinals wallet, I did it in the least secure manner ever. I literally have a screenshot on my computer of my seed phrase, but it's because it's
What?
like, yeah, like because I don't care. I put in like what $200 of Bitcoin, like whatever. Like I'm not worried about that getting hacked. Like
Yeah.
because it's such a big like nothing burger gamble at this point. If it does well, I'm gonna immediately set up a wallet and do the secure thing. But it's like it's literally degenerate behavior. So it's like yeah, I'll set up a Tezos wallet until it becomes $1 million wallet. Who cares? No one's gonna steal my
Yeah.
pennies.
Temple Wallet. Check it out. Temple Wallet is the name of
You drop it in the chat.
yeah.
Yeah, because right now I have a Bitcoin SV wallet. Don't do anything with that. I have a Solana wallet via Phantom. Optimism, do nothing with that. I've been thinking about getting Arbitrum because that's just a RPC that you add to your Ethereum. I mean, to your MetaMask, right?
I have not messed with Arbitrum yet.
Well,
That's
if you look at
definitely
OpenSea, the Arbitrum, because like based on, I've been looking at the marketplaces, any marketplace I watch, but mostly OpenSea. Let me here. I can go up here actually. Do I have it open up here?
yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Light Piglet's saying Arb is just another RPC. MetaMask.
Okay, good. So then I'll do that. Like, just looking at the stats, like they list all chains, but they do have Optimism. But you can see the Optimism. There's literally been 4 NFTs sold on for Optimism here on OpenSea. For Crate, I don't even know what the hell this is. For Solana, this one probably has more volume. Yeah, some stuff is selling. Avalanche, not really much. Arbitrum, more but not much. Versus Polygon, which is like bustling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are days where Ethereum is dead and Polygon is just like, oh, hundreds of sales. I wonder what's happening there.
Real quick, I'm just gonna go grab some water. I ran out of water like 5 minutes ago. I'm gonna go grab some and then we should get into a little bit of fake gotchis here and maybe talk about Fake
Yeah.
Fest.
So, Goobs, I'll answer your question because I saw it up above. In terms of any projects that like kind of I'm like long, I mean I'm cool with all of them, but I'm not particularly like I'm trying not to bag hold. I'm taking a lesson that I learned from being at the beginning of my NFT journey where I had either too much conviction or not enough conviction. I'm trying to take the collector aspect and completely remove that from what I'm doing now. So it's like anything with volume that I think I can buy low and sell higher. Greater fool theory, 100%. I'm aiming to do that. So like I'm trying to break my own rules. Like if something's up 5x, I'm gonna sell like 80% of it. I'll save that 20% for the moon bag, but I'm gonna sell like 80% of it. Other times I either sold it all very quickly and got nothing, or held it too dearly. Now I'm more in the range of like if it has volume, it's moving, I'm selling it. There's no conviction. I've had rec dogs. I sold all my rec dogs. I had the alpha. I had 2 Galactic Eagle gang. I bought one. I got airdrop one. I sold both of them on the pump before the reveal because every reveal causes a crash. I think that one's down to like 70 Matic now. It went to as high as 200 Matic. So like I'm just trying to like surf the wave, jumping in and out. What other ones? Just basically all of them that are on this list here. Today I haven't been super active. Like I don't have any of these World Cup ones. I have these ducks. I have the little dank dealers. I have 2 Trumps. I have a lot of Suki bits. I have like 50 poly Ubes. I think these I paid like 0.2 Matic for. So I was selling them for 0.78 Matic, 0.8 Matic. So it's baby money until Matic's worth $100 a coin. And it's like, oh shit, I'm sitting on a stack. So I just like grails. If I see a grail like with D nuts, I have them. I have a whole bunch of these Pepe punks. They're ugly as hell. I have the Imperfects Planet. I have a bunch of those. These are going up, so that's good. A whole bunch of sales should activate. What else did I have? I traded these. I traded these. These are all low volume right now, so I'm not really messing with them until I see a move. I sold my Polygon Ape. I bought it for 26 Matic months ago. It pumped to like 150. I held it. And then recently I was like, no, I want to take money off the board and like just keep constantly growing the bag that way. Drill Club, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of these. Mighty Pepe Club.
I can't see your. You're not sharing your screen.
Oh shit, sorry. I have a bunch of these. At the beginning of the Pepe pump, these were like the first thing that I bought, like 40 of them. But
Those
I
are kind of
think
cool. What are they sitting at now?
they're at like 0.28 Matic, so it's like next to nothing.
Oh, that's not bad. I kind of
Yeah,
like
there
the
was
one with the knife in its brain, actually.
yeah. This one, these pumped to like 1 Matic, so we're still talking $1. So
That's
it's like, yeah, I'll collect all this art. Like, fuck it.
whatever, man. It's trading art. I like it. I like some of these actually. I wouldn't mind collecting them.
Yeah, I kind of like this one. His brain is getting a shower, and he's wearing this little boa. Yeah, just collecting and flipping as I go. Just whatever I get. I just got to do it. The next step is to move it all to wallets that are not associated with me. Like, I want to do it for my girlfriend. She's been asking me to like. I sat her down and got her to buy a coin and hold a price, and I was like, okay, cool. So she's like, let me just give you money and you do this. And I'm like, I'm a degen. I might buy a shit coin that's like, called shit, and it might drop 90%, but I'm fine with that because my risk tolerance is much higher because I'm not emotional about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, where with her, I don't, that's something I think everybody has to learn that. You have to
I
go through and
I think
take
for
the
the
L because that's how you learn.
yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, I think for the majority of people, like your level of risk tolerance is probably not what most people do, because, well, I don't know. Some people might, but I think a lot of people will just freak out when the price drops. You know what I mean? Um, most people, like statistically, I can say this. Most people are not good traders, like 99%. Um, the ones that do, like you say, don't trade with their emotions. But most people are they can be emotional, especially when it comes to trading and like managing money and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I used to coach these workshops for people who basically had like their retirements had blown out for one reason or another. And my job was to kind of at these workshops show them how to like look at a company and evaluate a company, like to buy their stock. And just like show them the basic way of kind of learning this level of risk tolerance. But even that level of risk tolerance was like higher than like what most people felt like they could handle initially. It was almost like very much hand holding. But that's why they call us degens, because like I think people in this space right now are in a whole another category. Like you can't compare an NFT trader even to a regular trader. I think it's just totally different paradigm.
It is like we have our own technical
Yeah.
jargon. I was sitting there listening to a Twitter space on my phone when my girlfriend came out. I took off the headphones so she could hear it, and they're debating DeFi and Web3 gaming and talking about all this stuff. And it's like French to her. She doesn't understand any of this,
Yeah.
but like there's we're all in it. What was I gonna look for? Oh yeah, I want to see what the Ethereum price is.
But I mean, when you're this early, there are so many opportunities, and I think you're taking the right approach by, uh, diversifying your NFTs, because it's like it's almost like lottery tickets, right? Like you're buying these little things. Sometimes you'll make like a couple dollars. Sometimes you make like $100, but every now and then you might get like one of those, like a big winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and at the very least, I end up with a whole bunch of cool pictures I can give away.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, let's see, what NFTs have I bought lately. I have been buying quite a few NFTs actually. I
Oh, can you
bought
show us on your screen?
let's see. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I could actually show you. So I bought this one here. I'll show you the asset. This is a fake rare that I just bought. This one right here. So I actually like this guy's art, Ryan Anderson. He does like you might have seen like this baked potato art on crypto Twitter. He does like these animated baked potatoes and they sing like crypto songs. But he made like a Pepe version called Tub King. Let me see if I can find the audio file for it. Let's see. So it's just like a nice chill vibe, it's just Pepe just hanging out.
Oh, put it on the big screen.
Oh, is it not on the big screen? Here we go. Switch it around.
Like that.
And you know what I really like about this piece? If you look, the like Pepe is sitting by the pool and he's tapping his fingers to the beat. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, I don't know. I got this piece. It's gonna go in the vault. I'm gonna hang on to it and just added this to the collection. So I bought that, and then last week when I was with you, we bought some Zogs. I bought some. Can't remember what it was called. I bought a couple Pepes, a slappy Pepe and a flippy Pepe, and so got a couple more Pepes in the collection this week.
Yeah, I added the what was it? The troll Pepe, the doggy dog Pepe, and then the bird, I think, something like that. The stoner looking Pepe's dog and bird, and then the troll Pepe. I still like them. It's funny. The stoner dog is actually it's a collection of 700, but it's priced higher or almost as high as some of the collections that are only 100.
That's
I
interesting.
think, yeah, it's the cultural relevance. It's a Jimi Hendrix nod, I think, or like a general
Mm,
hippie, but it feels like a Jimi Hendrix nod. Um, and people vibe with that. So it's like that's why I picked it because I also thought like, hey, this will like I'm a collector. I like this art, but I bought it because I'm like Matt Fury's a fucking legend, and if and when he dies rather, it's gonna everything him is gonna pump.
totally, 100%.
It might as well have something, you know.
Some memorabilia for sure. Um, I'm glad he came out with his own Pepe art because for the longest time he was like totally against the whole like NFT. Like he was not about it, you know, like selling Pepes for money and stuff. But I'm glad he's in there. He's profiting. I missed out on the heads. I saw that made. I watched. That was the one. You know, we were talking earlier about things that go over our heads. That was one of the ones for me, for sure.
Damn.
Oh, check this out here though. This fake
Oh, I
rare.
like that.
I don't know this artist, but like this is pretty dope art to be honest. This is like one of those pieces you could almost get lost in. Like look at the bottom there. You got two more Pepes kind of like abstracted away alongside the walls, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that looks great. I like the coloring. Just doing a little gotcha work.
Are you still channeling?
Well, I have one client that has uh, 5 lands that are built up, and they are like they're like some of them are almost empty, so it's not going to matter soon. But his 5 farms need to be empty twice a day, every 12 hours. So I still do that, and then I empty my one farm. I channel at the same time with his gotchis because it's cheap. But as soon as the kinship burn goes into effect, he actually is competitive. So I'm not going to channel those 5 gotchis anymore or 10 gotchis because it'd be the one in the morning, one in the afternoon. I'm
Yeah.
kind of looking forward to the end of it. It's even at this level, it's a chore. I can't like it just shocks me that I did it for so long, doing so many of them. It made sense when it was like good money, but now it's like even now you can still make money doing it. I just want my free time back. Like
Yeah.
I just want to be free.
Yep, 100%. I feel you on that.
Yeah, and I can make as much in a channeling as I can from flipping a stupid, PFP on Polygon. I might as well just flip the PFP. I don't have to do anything.
Exactly. It's all about opportunity cost, man.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see what happens next. I see there's some DAO proposals to push forward basically scheduled rerolls. Uh I I'm not for it because this is supposed to be a long timeline and there are plans and we're just kind of forcing it through. We're going to run out of those rerolls much sooner. We're talking if it's every 3 months, we're going to be done in 2 years.
Well, I think that's kind of like the timeline that's been set aside for like the return by like I've been just watching from the sidelines for like what we always talk about the community side of Avagachi, but there's also the investor side of Avagachi, and I think there are a lot of large holders of Avagachi saying, maybe the timeline for the complete return from the DAO for player rewards is 2 years. I don't know. That's the vibe I was getting. Like that's what you even see with the rarity farming seasons. We have about 2 years worth of rarity farming seasons, so then we'll have 2 years left of land mining, and basically the bet, I guess, by putting these proposals forward, the bet that they're willing to put forth is that if in 2 years the project hasn't made it, then they're okay with having none of those funds, player rewards, or you know what I mean. I mean that's just
Yeah,
what's implied. Like I'm just saying what I'm seeing here right now.
yeah.
You know.
What I would add to that though, just as like a not a counter, but like a little like note to it is that um I think part of the assumption is right now Ghost isn't worth that much. It's worth like a dollar, 90 something cents probably. If we go back into a bull and unbounded Ghost goes up in price because our player rewards are the Ghost that we buy with the Ghost aggregation, that regular
Right.
amount of funds. It's so we have a bag of Ghost. If Ghost was to go to $5, that means we have 10 years of runway because remember our rewards for rarity farming are $1.5 million, not a set amount of Ghost. So if you're optimistic and you think we're going to be in a bear in a year or two, I think our treasury could extend itself way beyond 2 years. But that's if a bear, happens, ends in the next year.
And that's why I've been a big proponent of like a percentage for rarity farming and things like that. Like we should have a percentage of the treasury player rewards from the treasury that we're willing to spend for each season.
Yeah. I mean, I still have my top 50 XP Avagachi. So I'll get some rewards from that. The rest of my Avagachis don't really make the cut anymore. So it's like I'm not that worried about rarity farming. That's not why I'm here. I've made a lot of money from rarity farming.
Yeah.
So I feel like as an early-ish investor, I don't want to shit on anybody else, but like from my perspective, I've made a lot of money. Like I've taken a lot of profits.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I don't have a 2 year timeline because I've already made my money, and I feel like
Yeah.
anybody that's been playing the game early and has been had a modicum of like uh, just fucking information in their head would have taken profits along the way too. We got paid
Absolutely.
rarity farming every season. I reinvested some of it, but after 2 seasons, I was already 100%, and that's without flipping anything or
Yeah.
anything else. I can't like when people kind of complain. It's like, yo, bro, you've been out here in public flipping this whole time, and now you're complaining that your investment's taking a little too long to get back. It's like, like,
Yeah, I don't even have a massive bag, and I could say the same. Within the first three rarity farming seasons, I had my full investment that I put into the game. It was back. You know what I mean? And that's like, and I'm not a flipper. Like I don't trade, I don't flip. I was just playing the game. I was playing the rarity farming game, and so yeah, it's I don't get it to be honest.
yeah, I'd
I
rather it be sustainable. Let's do it. Do a year long rarity farming, but with less money. Do one that's like a weekly, almost like a literally like your gotchi's like giving you a stipend every week, but just break down whatever the budget is for the entire year. No one would complain. Just literally leave it on autopilot. You can make ways that people can fight it out to move up and, like different mechanics to move, but just do it like that. Cause then there's no need for, I think people would accept a smaller amount funded. Like imagine instead of putting 1.5 million in every 3 months, you put it in for the whole year,
I
but
would
it's a
want
constant flow.
I would be down for that. The only caveat I would say is I'd want to make sure PvP is involved and like the arena has to be relevant because I'd kind of be honestly I'd be against that if it was just rarity farming, like just dressing your gachi, because then it's kind of like now it's inconvenient. Now it's gotta like undress it for rarity farming, dress it or sorry PvP, dress it back up for rarity farming, and you're just flipping it back and forth. It like I'm all for introducing complexity, but that's honestly just straight up annoying. It's like
Well, what would happen would be this. Like I imagine in the ideal world is that you have rarity farming is its reward, the regular weekly reward, and then we have a developed leaderboard and activity for arena. You
yeah,
can if you are active and can earn in both, I don't think I wouldn't have a problem switching back and forth. It'd be a tad annoying, but
right.
you'd be able to maybe, eventually maybe we have templates where you can dress. But I would probably just build one gotchi that's my monster kick ass in the arena. It might not be the most optimal but for rarity farming, but if I'm in there grinding and making money, that also comes down to the whole
True.
thing. Like, are you going to make money from the arena? Because a lot of rarity farming homies who are whales don't going to the arena ever. They just rent their gachis out, and they're still OP enough that you'll pay for the rental so that you can kick some ass.
I mean, if there was a way to track our player stats, how good you are as a player, because you can rent out gachis, it kind of switches things up a bit, compared to traditional games where you have like marketplaces to buy and sell your items, and then you equip them to your player, and that's your player skill. So, like, you could easily rent like a super OP gachi. I've done it too. Like, losing so many rounds in the arena, go rent an OP gachi, and then go fight with it, and you'll feel
Yeah.
good.
If the
Uh,
rewards are split based on the rentals, it gives it great utility,
yeah.
and like it'd just be a lot of fun. What I would love to see, because I'm assuming that the arena is close end. Like, there's no API that I can look at the data for kills and like number of hits, because Orium, like part of our plans are we're developing analytics like for rentals. So I would love to be the first person or to propose. I think Ernani would be down for it, but it would take time to like, hey, let's make a arena analytics tool where you can see like if you put in the Gachi ID, you can see where your Gachi ranks and all this information about how it fights in the arena, because our game lacks that right now. But someone could build a tool like that, if that information was accessible, like if there was a subgraph or something that can be pulled, it can be pulled from. Because the arena's, not on chain, there's not going to be a subgraph though. It would have to be I guess, an API into like a Pixelcraft server to be able to see that back end information.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a way to look at it. Like, they do have those stats, I'm sure, if we asked.
Yeah, because if you can add utility to the experience, like I want to be able to fight and know if I'm a good fighter or not. Like right now, I know like I get wrecked, but I don't really get much more information
Yeah.
beyond that, and it takes time for all that stuff. But yeah, year long rarity farming, but at a lower amount, or you make it less people get the reward. I'm fine with that, and then initiate rewards, leaderboards, for what's it called, like the arena. Like I would love them to be innovative. You can literally go and do what they did for the luggage, that one of one luggage. Get Lost Local to create the dopest fucking merch in the world, the most exclusive godlike merch, and have a tournament in the arena, some kind of tournament mode, and people literally they can pay their little keck to get in and fight their way out for a one of one sweater and maybe some cash. Like that would be fucking great. Or like, there's so many ways we can do it to drum it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm for it, man. Let's have a conversation about all year rarity farming, because as we know, as we've seen recently, like, people want to move on the rarity farmings like that. Every 3 to 6 months there'll be someone bringing it up. So now that we're starting this rarity farming season, as we're going through the season, it might be a good idea to start having the conversation now, because I think there's easily 2 or 3 things we could implement before next time, if not have like a complete roadmap with a year-long rarity farming. That would be really cool too.
Yeah, and I'll say anecdotally, there is support for this idea. I mentioned it in the DAO discussion. It was one of the rare occasions where Bearded and Cookie Thief were there, and they're like, "That's a great idea." And I was like, "I would write the post, but I don't care. Somebody else write it." Like one, like year long, weekly. It's almost like a staking mechanism, but we have a treasury that we have allocated for this stuff. Just make the reward less than you're not going to do $6 million in a year. You're going to do maybe 1 million, maybe 2 million. That's still a substantial amount to bleed out to people every week.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather get it weekly than to wait for a DAO action and wait months. Like that becomes regular income for people. That's amazing.
Yeah. No, I think and maybe that's the new pitch. Like, maybe that's the new marketing angle around rarity farming. It's not this like seasonal thing, but like, hey, just holding an Avagachi gives you this entry pass essentially to this ecosystem of earning.
Yeah. But then we're security. I've been having so many conversations about securities. I'm like up to my head in it. It's everything's a security.
Who
Oh my
cares what
god.
Gary Gensler thinks? That's what I think, man. Fuck him.
It's just they're so far behind on everything. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I'm not worried, man.
Cool longest, what's up? I
Kula
need to get you
Longus
to
in the
join Orium as a
house.
scholar. You should join Orium as a scholar. We got some scholarship programs that put your ass to work.
Nice. We gotta start a vault. We were talking about that. We want to do a vault with Orium.
Hey man, I can help you set one up right now.
We gotta do a GMI vault.
Do you have to do it through the multi-sig? I don't think we're about to have a multi-sig capability. Before we didn't.
Oh
It was
shit.
just yeah. Because we've dealt, like, we got feedback. Musashi was one of the friends that gave us that feedback that they used, I think it's MSG. They use a multi-sig. So not having access, is a problem. And a lot of guilds are going to use multi-sig. So, but now he's working on integrations to fix that.
We'll be your guinea pigs for that. Gladly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really easy. It's just literally, like, I can show you now on my screen, actually.
Okay, here. Let me switch
Literally
it.
just, hopefully gas isn't too high. Orium.network. Nope, I'm showing myself. There we go. Yeah, so I'm here in my wallet. Go to scholarships. Scholarships, you have the safes and the guilds. So what you do as an asset owner is create a safe. And it's basically a smart contract that you deploy, that you hold on to for your assets. You're completely in control. There is no wrench attack unless somebody wrench attacks you to get access to this. But it's basically, it becomes the lending delegator in a sense. So just really easy, create one. Well, I can't create one. Right now, I've created two. So it's the Avagachi and this is Cometh. This is going to be going live within probably the next week or two. They're still working out a few things. But in each of these, you would then deposit your NFTs. So it's going to load my NFTs. I don't think I have any NFTs in this one. Yep. This one, these are all lent out. They've been delegated from my NFTs. Like basically in the my NFT section, I would see my NFTs and then I'd click over here and delegate them or deposit them into the safe. Once they're in the safe, then I would delegate them. And delegating is just sending it to like a guild and you can batch choose it. So here I'll send it to the Orium Game Night. Orium Game Night. It shows you the terms for Orium Game Night. It's 100% goes to the scholar. We do take a platform fee, but that's what we use to send out the Chemica. Do a rental, like a 1 hour, bam. Delegates, it'll pay whatever gas. We'll send the transaction. And then on the second layer is the guild. Now, so for you could set up a safe and delegate to a guild, or you can just set up your guild. You would come here and you would deploy once this loads. I have 3 of them. You just deploy your own guild. Do an Avagachi guild. I can set up what my splits are for Upfront Ghost.
For the whole guild, right?
Yeah, for the guild, yeah. So you can create multiple guilds. So I have some guilds that are, hey, if you drop your gachi in, you can use a level 9. You get 94%. The landowner gets 5%. I get 1% as the guild. So if you need a level 9 but don't have access, you can use mine, but you just, I get a little fee. You can set up all types of stuff like that. So Cool Longest could start his or her own guild, set up what the scholar gets paid, what the owner gets paid, what the landowner gets paid, and then finally what the guild gets paid, and then just create it. Once you create it, then you can go like our Orium Game Night one. Few assets in here. I would go here, create the rental. Basically, the scholarship becomes the lending operator. So they can create rentals and then give to the scholars. So if Cool Longest has a group of friends who are also scholars, they could set up a scholarship and manage it themselves. And then the key is finding the Avagachi owners who need, like, GMI needs their assets managed. So they can create the scholarship, Cool Longest, and then you can delegate your assets to them. Once the rentals expire, I always do 1 hour rentals. You could pull back the rentals at any point, and it just kind of automates everything. At the end of the week, you would go and take the earnings. I don't have earnings because I give this all to the what's it called? To the scholars for Orium Game Night. And then we also have voting that you can do from your safe. So this is the key thing that kind of differs us. I mean, we're act management versus the guy, but we also allow you to power. So your safe can be half Gachis.
This is huge. That's a huge deal, dude. Dang.
Yeah. But Coder Dan just changed the XP distribution, so we have to adjust. I'm not sure where we are in that. But yeah, this was set up like a month ago. No, probably more long, maybe 2 months ago.
Oh shit, this is like big news to me because like this is a great feature for something we've been talking about for a while, which is like guilds combining their voting power.
Yeah. So it allows the guilds, like the guilds can have all the assets and be the lending operator, but you as the owner, the safe owner, can still vote and get your XP for your gachis. You don't have to. It's not like with the gachi vault where you vote in the gachi vault DAO, so their whole voting block votes at once. It's like no, you're still a separate voter completely. So your voting power remains with you.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Nutshell.
No, that's awesome. I'm a huge fan of that. I think we should start a GMI vault and get that going.
Yeah, we call it a partnership, and you can come on our game night and host some stuff.
Sick. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, speaking of partnerships, there's we were talking about auto battlers earlier, and I was actually meaning to show this. This is Mark Immaterial's Gotchi Battler that he's been talking about. So, there's a trailer here. Do you want to watch the trailer and, maybe let's talk about this auto battler thing? Like, what do you see from your perspective as a partnership lead? Is this a game that you could see being really competitive and interesting? So, um, here, let me play the trailer, and then we'll talk about it.
Drop the link in the chat also.
Yep. Hang on. Okay, here. Oh, I should turn this around. Gotchi Battler. Did you get that?
Oh, sorry, I had myself muted. Yeah, I mean it looks cool. It looks like a mini game.
What are your thoughts on this type of auto battling type game? Have you seen other games like this? Were they engaging? Were they fun? Were scholars playing them?
From what I understand, I have to look into it more. But like Cometh, when you say auto battler, what's the difference between the auto battler and a turn-based card game?
Mm, I think it's similar, very similar in concept. So with the card game, you're again very similar. You're picking out your moves, and then you're playing your cards, and then you see how it goes. Kind of like Axie Infinity, uh, very similar to Axie Infinity actually. And the auto battler, same thing. You're pre-programming kind of the players, the stats of the players. Sometimes they could be additional attacks or boosts that you can add, but then you see how the round plays out. So there's no active involvement in the actual game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, I asked that because I was gonna say it reminds me of Cometh in that sense. Cometh is more like Axie now, where you have ships, but you play cards and the ships move and do attacks. Like there's an animation and all that, but it's just like a card strategy game.
Hmm.
I'm for those. The challenge is like, and I'm thinking with my Orium cap on, is that for us, like if I'm thinking of partnerships as a marketing aspect, which is me finding people that will want to, hey, we want to play your game on game night. We want to host spaces together and co brand and co market. Auto battlers are fine. Like we had a conversation with a game that's called eSkills Games. They're gonna come out later, but we're probably gonna partner with them for branding at the very least to start now. They make like online, like Web 3E pool games. They're playing pool, they're playing golf, and it's like, hey man, like can we partner and I at least play your game because it's in an open beta on my game night where we can get a whole bunch of people in and we'll just chat and play, a game. That kind of partnership, any of these games work. I don't mind it. If we're thinking of like, channels of building our users and also like growing revenue, the main question for every game that we have is like what are the tokenomics? Is there a reward token? If you're playing this game and there's a way to get a split, like you're earning money and we can create a rental system and it makes sense, then yeah, that game could be cool. It doesn't matter what the game looks like because there's always going to be some kind of niche audience that's like, yeah, I like this. But if it's just a straight up just game, like Chronos is just a straight up game. It's a cool like battle royale, but you don't earn anything playing unless there are tournaments. So it's a little bit of a different market. For me as the marketer, I don't mind tournaments. I like that stuff because it keeps community engaged, which is one of my top priorities. But for revenue generation, it's like, this isn't gonna. I don't see unless there's a token how.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest. You said it right there, man. I think that's the biggest obstruction for profitability. But for marketing, branding, maybe even learning the trait mechanics of the Avogachis could be interesting. I think he's been pretty thoughtful about putting this together. So it's definitely worth like having a discussion within the DAO. Now, there's two different funding options because this is quite a large ask from the DAO. Asking for $150,000 worth of funding.
Wait a minute. $150,000 for something that Jared would have made for free 2 years ago? Does that make sense?
No, I mean it's
What's
150.
what are the KPIs? We need to ask these questions now. I like these questions now.
Yeah, me too. $150,000 from the DAO Treasury to hire Web3 dev, Web2 dev, designer, game dev, build an MVP in 3 months. And so his thoughts are he wants to throw a bunch of money at it and quickly develop this game. But then also once the game is developed, the DAO will need to fund their rewards for the game. So it's a pretty heavy money sink. And so that's option one is for the going that route. Option two is to kind of do an MVP at a much smaller fee, and then maybe having a prize pool for every battle event tournament that takes place in the game. So that could be a riskier option for him, but could be profitable if the game is more popular, but more expensive to the DAO in the long run.
So how much is the less expensive option?
He's saying 10%, so it'd be 15,000 instead of 150,000.
I don't understand how this even costs 15,000 to be honest. If we're in the era where these are like it's kind of copy pasta stuff. Yes, you have to have the assets in there, but this
Yeah.
isn't groundbreaking or innovative gameplay or anything. Like, right? Am I bugging? Like, there is like I'm not saying it's bad, and I understand. Like, I remember somebody saying to get a decent mini game, it would cost like 60 grand if you're not doing everything yourself. But once again, I think of the mini games that we've had and how little how much they did with so little. I feel like it's a big ask. Like, if there's no
Yeah.
like revenue generated from it, it's just we're paying for a mini game. I think we might as well do a game jam again. Look at what we got out of the game jam at least. Like there were
Yeah.
several games, none of them finished. Only one or two were finished, but they were still high quality things.
And that was 20,000 USD.
Yeah. I don't
So,
know. I like the idea. 15K is more palatable. I wonder what the timeline would be for getting it ready. Uh, I don't know. Like, I don't think an auto battler is really gonna make me want to play this any more than like the arena's more fun. I think.
yeah, I did provide some feedback. I said thank you for the background information and context because he provided a whole bunch of information regarding a previous auto battler that I was approached by when I was project manager for Avogachii DAO. Another Avogachii community member approached me with his project for an auto battler. A little bit different than what Mark is building here, but in terms of like the workload and the requirements, it was very similar. And he was asking for about 18,000 goes for the finished product. You know what I mean? So there was a bit of a disparity. I asked him about that, and so his idea was to throw more money at it to get it done sooner and to have a more fleshed out version as opposed to MVP. But what I say here is, I understand your point about having all hands on deck with this sort of project, rather than delivering a partially completed product. That makes sense. But after recently playing the Alluvium Auto Battler, which I recently played, and I was actually having fun. It was a really well put together auto battler. Um, it can be a fun experience when traits, progression, balance, and randomness are navigated effectively. And so, you know, if it was executed on that level, that Illuvium kind of level, I could totally see something like this being like very useful within like our genre, because we don't have a auto battler game within Avagachi. So could even be like a card type of game. You know what I mean? So I said, what are your thoughts on trait and power balance? These games can take a ton of time to get the balance right, because he only put out of this whole $150,000 budget, I think only 4,000 of it is set towards like traits and balancing traits. So that to me seemed like not enough. Like it seemed like you'd be putting a lot of time into balancing the traits for a game that is only fun because of the complexity of the traits. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
and then the other
I
one
don't.
was what you said, is just a risk versus benefit analysis for both options 1 and 2 for funding. So, like, what would be the projected revenue for the game if you was to monetize it versus the DAO owning rights to the game? These are some things, like, definitely answers that we need before, like, shelling out that much money. Or we're better off doing a game jam again, which is another conversation to have.
Well, there's multiple questions I would ask. I'd be like, hey, uh, does the DAO own this product now, or is it going to be PC? And do you have to go and secure the rights from PC? Because when they did that with the Forge, from my understanding, they own like the Forge essentially. The Forge is building it, but PC retains control.
Which would make sense in the Forge, in the case of the Forge, but at the same time, this is a mini game. It's not directly tied to the protocol in any way. So, I mean, the IP would be up to Mark, right? I feel like if the DAO is going to pay that much money, like if this proposal does pass, like the DAO better own the full IP and everything, all the rights to that game. I think that's the only
Yeah.
way that could work.
My other thought is this, right? We don't have an arcade. That was a promise that has never come. But at least on the Avagachi landing page, which I'm showing, you can look at tools. And I think mini games are here, right?
Yeah.
No, they're
No,
not.
go back. There's like a games one, isn't there?
Oh, play
Yeah.
mini games. Okay, we have four. There were so many more that were up, but that aren't being connected. This should be the biggest thing that we're marketing. It's like, hey, you don't want to go on the Gotchiverse, but you want to play some games. Look at these games. All we're doing is adding another game here that no one's going to play. It doesn't make sense. I also want to know what's a comparable budget for something built like this, like based on these graphics, not on like Piglet says, that sure ain't, that damn sure ain't alluvium. Like, do we even need it? Like, there are probably bigger things we should focus on. People will say gameplay, but if that's the case, then why isn't anybody playing in the arena? I would love to know how many people play Gotchi Tower Defense at this point.
Yeah.
Like these mini games, it reminds me of like the S Pepe Frogger game. I played it on Orium Game Night last week, where you can be a community. It's not really a Web3 game. I think you can connect your wallet, but it's just a game. You're playing Frogger, chasing after the Polygon logo. It wasn't. It seemed like a low effort thing, but it was fun. That should be our aim. A whole bunch of games like that. We don't need $150,000 from our fucking treasury. Could be used for 10 different things that would probably be more productive.
Yeah,
That should be
absolutely.
used towards just organizing the DAO.
I think that's why the Stratagachi proposal got turned down, to be honest, because it is like very much same kind of idea, turn-based game, you know what I mean? Uh but same kind of reasoning there is like can we justify that to the DAO when like our arena is still has like, half a dozen people in it most of the time, you know? It's
The thing is, this is just going to be like the Anata's thing. It's just going to
yeah,
get voted through. There's no real plan. I mean, not. I'm not going to say that. Mark is a smart guy. He's going to deliver. He's delivered on the other tasks that he's come forward with.
the
And
spending
I don't doubt
competition.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do well. Like if he does this, I feel very confident he'll deliver. But I'll say this and be candid about it. I was a member of the Alchemica Task Force, the Glitter and Alchemica Task Force. I got paid something like 550 ghosts for like 4 hours of my time. I'm being overpaid. You want to include us chatting in Discord, which I didn't do because it makes no sense, and we can just do it on a voice call. They did a lot of chatting in Discord, but I don't think that time was worth 550 ghosts each. I think it was way over budget. I feel like a lot of things are being done way over budget, and maybe I'm just not an industry insider, even though I work in the industry now. But it seems like like people are just asking for way too much. Look at Yannick; he's building a whole fucking tool for 25K. I'm
25K,
probably
and
gonna
it's supposed
interview
to be
him.
an amazing tool. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be interviewing him. That's a little alpha next week. I was trying to get him to come on to game night to give us an update because we're kind of working like some angles with Yannick. I'm trying to combine forces in some way.
yeah,
And I want to interview him and ask him for an update in an unbiased way so that he's not attacked in the DAO when he's talking about what he's delivering and that we can show it. I told him, just do a presentation. We'll do the whole thing.
yeah, no, exactly. That's a good way to go about it.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. I'll make announcements.
Absolutely. What do you say we look at some fake gotchis? I haven't looked at the queue lately, so
Smoke screens. Is this the video? That's the same video, right?
yeah, it's the
Ooh,
same
is this?
video.
These aren't new pieces. I see. Soju, what's up?
GM.
Oh man, let's see this art.
Let's see what we're at. Where we're at. I still gotta mint my shit, man. I've been so caught up with other things lately. I gotta get that done this week. That's on my.
Ooh,
That's
that
a
Nimbus
first
cloud
thing
is
on my
new.
to-do list. Ooh, Supreme Pablo. Princess Pepesus Nimbus. I like it. I like this. Got the GMI. Got a little GMI in the corner there.
I really like that. That does look good.
This is a classic. I mean, this is a really great card, to be honest. Well done. This gives me like rare Pepe vibes, to be honest. I love it. I'm gonna collect this. Oh shit, dude. There's only 5 of these. Fuck.
See, rarity. I like that.
God, like, god damn. Gonna have to get one of these. Fake superstar. Bibo Cipriano by Grim Gallery. That's pretty cool. Nice vibe. Fake superstar. I
Oh,
I'm
I guess. Sorry, real quickly. During Orium game night, I do give away some fake gotchis. I do them usually. You have to kill me at the end of the night, but if you do it, you get a fake gotchi. We pick them randomly, so just keep that in mind.
nice. Fake Fest. I think this one's an ode to Fake Fest. You can see right there.
Damn, it's been over a year since we like kicked off the art in the gotchiverse kind of vibe.
Has it been a year already? Dang.
Yeah, it was fake gotchis. I think hadn't come out yet, but had already done District 420. At this point, New York NFT NYC happens like in a little less than a month last year. Like a year from a month from now. A year ago, 1 month from now, 11 months ago. All right, fuck. Yeah, that's we were doing we were doing this shit early. Now we have marketplaces for it. It's kind of cool.
Actually, that's a reminder. I got to reach out to Dan tonight and get him the addresses for all the artwork that we did before Fake Gachi, pre-Fake Gachi artwork.
So, do we know if there will be royalties on that?
No, there won't be any royalties because that royalties that's part of their contract that they have.
Dang. Okay, yeah.
No, that's straight up just pure pieces of culture right there.
Yeah, wanted that passive royalty forever. Got to make some new art.
That's right. We got one last one here. One last one.
Is that Stomper? The one on the right?
Fake Lore by Gotchi Goodies. Gotchi Goodies is the publisher. Fake Lore is the artist.
Let's go to the cure.
There's 69 of these editions.
Wait, you said fake lore. I don't see that anywhere. Oh, there you go. Fake lore. The diner. Yeah, I like that a lot. A lot of stuff happening there. Friend food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is interesting. Then we got some still yet to mints right here, coming through here. And I'm working on a piece that I'll probably get up real soon for Fake Fest.
The fake intelligence agency. I like that.
The Fake Intelligence Agency. FIA agents are on ground. We're active. We're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But we're always making art.
Is there music for this? No, there's no music for the Gotchi Fest. I will say that Gotchi Fest, if you look at it, it does look like a dictator.
Gotchi Fest.
Like you see the screens on the side, the left and the right, and he's like kind of he looks almost mesmerized. They're all vibing like it's a performance, but it makes me feel like a Middle Eastern dictator from like the 90s, like Saddam with two A's, Hussein.
Oh my god. I'm sure there's a Gotchi out there like that. If you look at the
Yeah,
audience, though, it's kind of cool because you can see all the little wearables. There's a vote sign. I see a MetaMask Fox,
a little pitchfork.
pitchfork, L2 sign.
I see the Santa hat, little dragon wings. I see that Foxy. That's dope.
Nice
Pillbox
details.
hat. Yeah.
This is well done, really well done pixel art.
Bibo Cipriano. As published by the Grimm Gallery. Grimm's doing it, man. That's cool.
Yeah, man. I got to work on my art game, collect more fake gotchis.
So we have roughly 8 minutes. Is Zombie Shepherd doing his show after this?
Yeah, he'll be doing his Zombie Shepherd performance after this. That's going to go on for about an hour, and then we'll do a little syncopator tonight. Just goes through some Fake Fest details, as well as friends from RFox and C11 DAO will be joining us tonight too. So should be a good one.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, they got some. They'll probably have some alpha for us regarding Fake Fest, most likely. But yeah, this has been a good show. I'm glad we got some friends hanging out here in the Discord. Appreciate y'all coming out and listening to us on Friday night, our degen talks, and just covering everything happening in Web3. It's a crazy time right now to be still here in this space. So
Yeah, we're here just watching it happen. We talked about a lot of different things today. We did cover a gamut.
oh yeah, never a dull moment here on Blockparty. And so you'll be there tomorrow at the hangout, right? Saturday hangout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We
Yep.
might have a sacred root sighting or something, right?
Oh, what? Sorry.
There's probably going to be like a sacred root sighting or some other lore stuff happening.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's gonna be some alpha, I bet. I hope we get to see some 3D gotchis. That's been in the works. We got some friends in the house here before we leave. Does anyone else have anything to add? Otherwise, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 2 p.m. UTC, in the Avagachi Discord.
Yeah. Take it easy, friends.
Later, friends. Peace.